I would lay off the heavy machine guns, honestly, at this point in the game. I think he needs more snipers or more bikes. Both of the above would be good. But he needs minesweepers as well because he's losing bikes to mines and things like that. So these two dudes here are really, really risking being wrecked by snipers. Whoa, there goes one, and there goes the other. Oh, man, if only... They call... If you're not familiar, there's an old Greek... From the old Greek stories, Cassandra syndrome is a reference to Cassandra of Greek mythology. Cassandra syndrome is the ability to predict the future and have nobody listen to you. Anyhow. So, here we have Field Pioneers still out here, heavy machine gun team. I mean, like, in a standard game, this is a good use of a heavy machine gun team guarding this flank, but right now I think he's just kind of thinking, where are all the riflemen? I'm used to fighting riflemen. This is an infantry commander. I should be fighting riflemen. Where are all the riflemen? And so that's probably my best guess as to what's going through TerrFernando's head right now. So luckily retreating, while retreating, of course, being hard to hit, those snipers are more likely to miss. You can see the special operations sniper sprinting around while camouflaged. I love that dude. And here are some more landmines going down, but you can see they are still revealed. I guess they stay revealed. Or maybe that's just a bug in my display here. But anyhow, so heavy machine gun team moving along, but it's not going to be too long before that special operations sniper starts picking them off. Whenever you can, try to click right on the guy with the gun. I'm not entirely sure that this is true, but I always do it anyways, and it feels like it is. If you target exactly that guy, your sniper will pick off the guy with the machine gun, and it does break the continuous fire because they have to replace that guy. You know, the other guy has to pick up the gun. So try to just click on a specific person as opposed to just kind of clicking the ground, because then you'll fire at one of the ancillary fellows in the background there. So in the meantime, we do have an anti-tank gun. Again, I don't think that that's necessary right now. I don't necessarily know that TerrFernando knows that it's not necessary, or that he could know, but suspect in your head that if this is truly a 4-engineer sniper build and it's taken it so long to see snipers, that you don't need your anti-tank gun right away. Now check this out. Now here's what he was expecting all along, except for they are in the form of Rangers. By the way, oh, well, remember what I was saying about people taking more damage while they're building? Yes, nice use of a single stick bomb there. But the Grenadiers now taking some serious damage. And also note, 2 snipers coming up on a bunch of Grenadiers. If they both attack, you risk both of them shooting the same Grenadier, and that's exactly what happened, as opposed to like taking him, clicking on one Grenadier, taking him, clicking on the other one. Oh, look at that. Everybody's just running across mines and everything else right here. So now you can see that, unfortunately, the whole idea of using motorcycles to counter snipers is right out the window. As soon as HellasShadow starts grabbing a bunch of Rangers, all motorcycles are just doomed. Now, not only were they a little bit doomed before because there were so many mines running around on the ground. Whoa, look at that. Every now and then you see one of those stray shots take out mines that you're standing on. Very dangerous. Never stand in your own mines just because of that. But anyhow, you can see here that HellasShadow's got a double squad of Rangers, and they do have the Tommy gun upgrades, or at least one of them does. And I love that sound. You can just hear that rat-a-tat-tat-tat. And these guys are so good. Check them out. They've got 3+4 against infantry. That's 7 against infantry and 4 against everything else. By the way, these numbers down here, they're not exactly damage. Damage is pretty thoroughly obfuscated in this game, but they are just a rough indicator of how effective they are. A lot of people say, like, well, Harlequin, don't pay too much attention to those numbers. And it's true. They aren't exactly accurate, but it's a rough idea that they are effective against certain things. So you can see that the 4 on this category here has to do with the fact that they have Tommy guns, and all of the other 4s have to do with the fact that they have bazookas. But that's okay. So, heavy machine gun team now finally doing what he wanted to do all along, which is suppressing a whole bunch of standard infantry troops. But you can see that we do have these fired up Rangers now charging on past. Let's see if they're going to take a shot. Yes, they throw a hand grenade at the machine gun team. It looks like most of that was absorbed by the building. I would have liked to see them take some pot shots at that motorcycle, for instance. But now the second squad is running right along here, throwing hand grenades, and look at that, man. They are just, everybody's making a mess of everybody else. I'm not sure all of these tactics were perfect, but oh, HMG team goes down, and now we have nothing but Pioneers versus Rangers. That's a bad move here, but this one Ranger, this one Pioneer is still around just long enough to defuse that mine and then retreat. But really, really brutal transition here. I actually like this strategy. I'm not sure that either player is playing this perfectly in any way. By the way, check out these engineers here with the rocket launcher. I like that too. But that's a perfect transition, because by going engineers and by going snipers, you force your opponent into getting things like machine guns and snipers and motorcycles. And now you have the perfect counter to all that is a whole bunch of rangers. Not that rangers really counter machine guns, but you still have snipers out there. As you can see, special operations sniper is going to be deployed, and boom, there he goes, taking out the guy manning the gun. Wow, just grenades going off everywhere. Kind of a mess. I kind of want to see this guy retreat before he's shot down. Is he going to get away? Yes, he is. It's always important to remember if you've seen your opponent using infantry attrition, because remember, when you come into these, you don't know what your opponent is spec'd with. He very easily could have fired up infantry attrition, which would have looked like little swirling arrows above the heads of his troops, and then you don't want to kill the last guy, because when infantry attrition is activated, they will get a brand new unit right next to their base. So and at this point of the game, I mean, really, HellasShadow has pretty much just dominated this. There's a couple of machine guns up here. I mean, a single machine gun up there. We have all the minesweepers. The minesweepers are great, but like, man, too little too late, honestly, because they're the only survivors. Anti-tank gun, not going to be used for anything at this point in the game. Might just take some random pot shots at rangers, but really rangers will just decimate an anti-tank gun. And what else do we have here? We have the rest of the engineers just kind of capping stuff around. Honestly, my only real criticism to HellasShadow is that he hasn't capped more of this map. As you can see, and wow, look at that. Takes out the pioneers with ease. As you can see, TerrFernando actually has map control right now. I think that's not a bad thing. I mean, it's not a bad thing that HellasShadow didn't pick up map control because he had such a dominating, violent presence here in the center of the battlefield. But, yeah. Really good strategy there, 4ES strategy. So I think pretty much all the problems that TerrFernando had with this in this game was just kind of failure to quickly identify what was going on, and he was kind of one step behind everything. By the time that he finally had the proper tools to deal with engineers and snipers, there were rangers with bazookas and Tommy guns on the field, and that kind of changed everything. So let's take a look and see where this is going. So now you can see these engineers kind of sweeping up. Looks like we may have some kind of forgotten about rangers back here. Always keep looking at your map and looking for those little blue dots, and just remember, if you see blue dots in front of your base, highlight them all, spam the R button. R button will resupply them. Or if you have a bunch of guys in front of your base, select them all and tab through them, RRR, tab RRR, tab RRR. That's how to resupply them all really quickly. But we can see we've got all of these cloaked units out here, finally getting a machine gun nest up. This is a wonderful emplacement here. Almost, I would almost rather see, and there's a little bit of fighting going on up here, I would almost rather see this field of fire kind of include that doorway, just kind of rotate it just a little bit more. But nice central control here. That's one takeaway from this, is that I love this use of barbed wire and the idea of just kind of forcing them down this tunnel here. So very, very, very suppressed rangers, but it's okay. The other rangers are coming in for the flank. Looks like they're forcing those guys to retreat, and little Luger-wielding artillery man here is taking some pot shots and blowing their cover. Looks like they're just going to go ahead and lay into that. So machine gun nest doing its thing. We do have the rangers here doing their thing, and as I said, the bazookas just blow up the entire anti-tank gun. These guys are going to have to get out of there. They are completely pinned and now totally surrounded. And a half-track. A half-track again, kind of too little too late. And now you can basically see that they're just kind of talking about it. And by the way, TerrFernando, this is the proper way, I think, to end a game. It's just kind of think, man, you can see he just kind of stopped playing. He's not really microing his units anymore. And he just talks about it. And he asks his opponent what happened, where things went wrong, or, you know, just kind of talk to your opponent a little bit. Be a gentleman. Just say hi, you know, compliment them, ask them, you know, what it was that they did or what they think you missed. And then just kind of leave. And then you leave a lot less frustrated because you kind of think, oh, okay, I learned something from this game even though I lost it. So this is the 4ES strategy. By the way, if you want to see a really good and old replay about this that I already have out there, it is in fact, a little bit of HarlequinCoHO trivia. The only replay that I have that is one file long, i.e. it's less than 15 minutes in length, is EOS, or EOS, I don't know how you pronounce it, but it's EOS versus StefanHaines, and it's on this map. EOS does exactly the same thing. StefanHaines, I haven't seen a lot of his replays lately, but he was a terrific player early on. And EOS basically does nothing but camouflaged units and snipers and rangers and all that, and beats the game in about 14 minutes. And StefanHaines just quits. So if you want to see more of this style of play, but done by real pros and dominating real pros with it, check that game out. Really old, by the way. It's like one of the first like dozen games that I cast, so you'll have to check that out. But things are looking pretty good here, but and you can kind of see it looked like TerrFernando actually said, "Oh, I was expecting rifles and whatnot." So I think at this point the game is basically over. It looks like he's AFK. He's got all of his troops just kind of doing nothing here, and I'm not sure why players actually do that instead of just quitting. Maybe he wants to sit around and hope that he gets as much experience as he can from this game. He's kind of asking his opponent to attack him. And by the way, if your opponent ever is like, "Oh, just come and attack my base," that's fine. Be a little wary of it. I've seen plenty of people say good game because they're just hoping to buy themselves some time while you relax your defenses. So definitely, I respect the fact that HellasShadow isn't just rushing into his base like, "Oh, okay, I'll come in here and clean up your base," because a lot of times your opponent can kind of deceive you with that. That is not the case for TerrFernando, but anyhow, I hope you guys enjoyed this game. By the way, TerrFernando actually submitted me this replay, and he has been on Newbie Tuesday before. I believe I butchered his name the first time, calling him Fernando, but this time I think we got it straight. TerrFernando. So props to him for sending me a loss, by the way. A lot of people don't send me losses, but that was pretty cool. And props to HellasShadow, because this is a cool strategy. So hope you enjoyed it. HarlequinCoHO here. If you have Newbie Tuesday games you want to send me, go ahead and send them to me. Include Newbie Tuesday in the title and give me some sort of a useful description, because the only games I never, ever watch are just like temp.rec files that have absolutely no description whatsoever. So HarlequinCoHO@gmail.com. Talk to you guys later.